So, you've heard about NFTs, it stands for non-fungible token. Let's break that down. Non-fungible just means it's one of a kind. It's unique. You can't replace it with another one. Think of it like the Mona Lisa. There are prints and copies, but there is only one original painting. An NFT is like the digital version of that original. It's a unique token that lives on a public ledger called a blockchain. This token acts as a certificate of ownership. It proves that you own a specific digital item. The first path is what we can call the no-code route. This is the fast lane. It's designed for people who want to get their creations onto the blockchain without writing a single line of code. You use existing platforms and tools that do the heavy lifting for you. It's accessible. It's quick. It lowers the barrier to entry significantly. This path is perfect for artists. This path is perfect for musicians. This path is perfect for creators who want to focus on their art, not on programming. The second path is the developer route. This is the custom-built high-performance option. This involves writing your own smart contract. A smart contract is the code that governs how your NFTs behave on the blockchain. This path gives you complete control. You can build custom features. You can create unique minting experiences. You can define the rules of your own digital universe. It requires technical skills, specifically in programming languages like Solidity. It's for the teams, it's for the brands, it's for the builders who have a specific vision and need the flexibility to execute it perfectly. Each path has its own costs. Each path has its own benefits. Each path has its own potential for profit. Let's start with the most straightforward approach. Eindracht-in-Kremai-Sin-Fi. No-code minting. This is the path for the vast majority of people who are just getting started. The entire process is designed to be as simple as using any other web application. You don't need to understand the complex inner workings of the blockchain to participate. The core idea is to leverage existing marketplaces that have already built all the necessary infrastructure. These platforms provide a user-friendly interface that walks you through every step, from uploading your file to listing it for sale. It's the fastest way to go from a digital file on your computer to a live NFT on the market. Think of these no-code platforms as the Shopify, Squarespace of the NFT world. They provide the storefront, the payment processing, the listing pages. All you have to do is bring the product, which in this case is your digital art, music, other creation. Platforms like OpenSea, Rarible, Zora have become the go-to destinations for this. They have spent years refining their user experience to make it as painless as possible. You are essentially renting their smart contract and their platform's reputation to launch your own items. This is a massive shortcut compared to building everything from scratch. The beauty of this path is its immediacy. You can literally have an idea for an NFT in the morning and have it listed for sale by the afternoon. This speed allows for experimentation. You can test out different art styles, pricing strategies, collection concepts without a huge upfront investment of time or technical knowledge. It democratizes access to the NFT space. Before these platforms existed, creating an NFT was a task reserved for developers with a deep understanding of blockchain technology. Now, anyone with a creative spark and an internet connection can join the party and start building their digital legacy. Of course, this convenience comes with trade-offs, which we will explore later. You are playing in someone else's sandbox, so you have to abide by their rules. You might have less control over certain features, like how royalties are enforced, the specific mechanics of your drop. However, for a beginner, these limitations are often a small price to pay for the sheer ease and speed of getting started. The no-code path is an incredible on-ramp. It allows you to learn the ropes, understand the market, start building a community around your work without getting bogged down in technical details. Before you can mint your first no-code NFT, you need a few essential tools. The very first thing is a crypto wallet. It's the most crucial piece of your Web3 identity. A wallet doesn't store your crypto or NFTs. It stores the private keys that give you access on the blockchain. Your wallet is your login, your signature, your bank vault. It's how you'll interact with NFT platforms. Popular wallets, MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet, Trust Wallet. MetaMask is the most widely used. It's a browser extension which makes connecting to sites very easy. When you set up your wallet, you'll get a seed or recovery phrase, 12 words, 24 words. This is the master key to your account. Write it down and store offline. Never store it on your computer or in cloud storage. Lose the seed and you lose access. If someone gets it, they can drain your wallet. Protect your seed phrase at all costs. Next, fund your wallet with crypto, which crypto depends on your blockchain. Ethereum, Ether, ETH, Polygon, Matic. Buy crypto on exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken. Transfer from the exchange to your personal wallet address. It's like moving money from your bank to your physical wallet. Choose your minting platform. OpenSea, largest and beginner-friendly. It's a great place to start. Rarible, Zora. Your platform choice affects audience and tools. For your first time, stick with OpenSea. It has documentation, a massive user base, and a streamlined process. With your wallet set up, funded, and a platform chosen, you're ready for the creative part. Now for the fun part, actually creating your NFT. Let's use OpenSea as our example. The first step is to create a collection. A collection is like a folder or a gallery. It groups NFTs under a single banner. Give your collection a name. Upload a logo. Upload a banner, image. Write a description. This is your brand. First thing buyers see. A well-presented collection page builds trust. With the collection ready, mint an individual item. Click Create or Add Item. You arrive at a simple upload form. Upload your primary digital asset, JPG, PNG, GIF, MP4, MP3, GLB. This asset is the core of your NFT. Fill in metadata, the title. Fill in metadata, the description. Use the description to tell the story. Explain your process. Add context to make the piece compelling. Good storytelling adds value. Add properties or traits, important for larger collections. Properties describe items. Background, blue. Properties, eyes, laser. Properties, addition, 1 of 100. Detailed view. Properties and royalty fields. Traits show on marketplace filters. Set a royalty percentage. Example, set it to 10%. That means you'll receive 10% on future resales. This creates passive income. Click Create or Mint. Your wallet will pop up to sign and confirm. You may pay a gas fee. Platform uploads files. Platform registers the token on-chain. Platform links the token to your wallet. Your NFT is live, listed at a fixed price. Put it up for auction. Hold it in your wallet. You've navigated the no-code path. Now we shift gears to the developer route. This is for those who aren't satisfied with the off-the-shelf solutions. If the no-code path is like using a website builder, the developer path is like coding your own website from the ground up. The core of this path is the custom smart contract. A smart contract is a program that runs on the blockchain. For NFTs, this contract defines everything. How many tokens can be created, who is allowed to mint them, how the royalties are handled, any other special logic you can dream up. It's your project's constitution, written in code and enforced by the blockchain. Why would you go through all this trouble? The answer is control and customization. With your own contract, you are not bound by the rules or limitations of a marketplace like OpenSea. You can create a completely custom minting experience. For example, build a website where users connect their wallet, click a mint button directly on your page, implement a dynamic pricing model where cost increases as supply dwindles, create an allow list, run a pre-sale phase for early supporters to build hype and reward community. These are things difficult or impossible with simple, no-code options. This path is not for the faint of heart. It requires a specific set of technical skills. The primary language for writing smart contracts on Ethereum and compatible chains is called Solidity. It's a complex language. Smart contracts deal with real money and are immutable once deployed. A small bug can have catastrophic consequences. A single error in your code could lead to the loss of millions in funds or NFTs. This is why the development process is much more rigorous. It involves extensive testing, peer review, professional security audits that can cost tens of thousands of dollars. The journey to deploying a custom contract is a multi-stage process. A multi-white code, test locally, deploy to a public test network, free to use blockchain for testing, and only then deploy to the main network. This methodical approach is non-negotiable. The stakes are simply too high to rush it. Typically taken by well-funded projects, established brands or development teams with a long-term vision and need for technical flexibility. It's a high-effort, high-reward strategy, you know. Embarking on the developer path means equipping yourself with a specialized set of tools. This is your digital workshop, and each tool has a specific job in the assembly line: creating, deploying a smart contract. Here's how tools like Hardhat, OpenZeppelin, and Alchemy connect your computer to Ethereum. The first and most fundamental tool is the programming language itself, Solidity. This is the language you will use to write the logic of your contract. To make this process safer and more efficient, developers almost never start from a blank page. They use libraries like OpenZeppelin. OpenZeppelin provides pre-built, community-audited, and secure templates for standard contracts like the ERC 721 for NFTs. Using these templates dramatically reduces the risk of introducing common vulnerabilities. Next, you need a local development environment. This is a software suite that lets you write, compile, and test your Solidity code on your own computer without using a live blockchain. The two most popular choices here are Hardhat, Foundry. These frameworks allow you to spin up a local blockchain instance, run automated tests against your contract, and simulate transactions. This is where you will spend the majority of your development time, meticulously testing every function and edge case. A good development environment is critical for catching bugs early, before they become expensive problems on the mainnet. Once your code is written and tested locally, you need a way to connect to the actual blockchain to deploy it. You can't just connect your laptop directly to the Ethereum network. Instead, you use a node provider service like Alchemy, Infura. These services run the complex infrastructure required to communicate with the blockchain and provide you with a simple API key that you can use in your deployment scripts. They are the bridge between your local development environment and the live decentralized network. Without these services, deploying and interacting with your contract would be significantly more difficult and resource-intensive. Finally, for writing and quick testing small snippets of code, many developers use a web-based IDE like Remix. Remix is an online editor that's great for beginners and for quickly prototyping ideas. It allows you to write, compile, and deploy contracts directly from your browser, often to a testnet. While serious projects quickly move to a more robust local setup with Hardhat or Foundry, Remix serves as an invaluable learning and experimentation tool. Mastering this entire tool chain, Solidity, OpenZeppelin, Hardhat, Alchemy, is the hallmark of a competent blockchain developer ready to launch a custom NFT project. One of the most misunderstood aspects of NFTs is what they actually store. An NFT is not the image or the song itself. The token that lives on the blockchain is surprisingly small. It primarily contains a unique token ID. It also contains a link pointing to metadata. This link points to a separate file called the metadata file. Visual, blockchain token, metadata JSON on IPFS, image file on IPFS. This metadata file, typically JSON, is the real soul of your NFT. It's where all the descriptive information lives. Name of the NFT, description, properties or traits, a link to the actual media file, JPG example, MP4 example. This separation of token and metadata is crucial, but it also introduces a potential point of failure. Where do you store those files? If you store them on a regular web server like an AWS S3 bucket, you have a problem. What happens if that server goes down? What if the company hosting it goes out of business? The link in your NFT would break. The token points to nothing. This is a rug pull on the storage layer. It undermines permanence. The solution is decentralized storage. The gold standard is the Interplanetary File System, IPFS. IPFS is a peer-to-peer network for storing and sharing files. An IPFS link points to content, not location. Links are generated from the cryptographic hash of the file. As long as one IPFS node hosts the file, the link works. Storage becomes resilient and censorship-resistant. Use pinning services to keep files available. Pinata. Pinning service. NFT. Storage. These services guarantee availability, paid or public. For large collections, hand-making images and metadata isn't feasible. Generative art tools solve that problem. Tools like NFTgenerator.art or custom scripts combine art layers to generate many images, backgrounds, bodies, hats, accessories. The generator outputs images plus JSON metadata with traits and rarity. This is how major PFP projects create 10K collections. Properly managing metadata and storage is as important as a secure contract. It's that important. The blockchain you choose to launch your NFT project on is one of the most strategic decisions you will make. This decision will impact your costs, your potential audience, the user experience for your collectors. It's not a one-size-fits-all choice. The undisputed king of the ring is Ethereum, largest network effect, most liquidity, well-known marketplaces like OpenSea, highest number of active collectors. Most of the highest value NFT sales have happened on Ethereum. If you are aiming for a high-end, premium art drop, Ethereum is often seen as the only choice. However, Ethereum's popularity comes at a steep price. The network can get very congested, leading to extremely high transaction fees, known as gas fees. During peak times, a simple transaction like minting an NFT can cost hundreds of dollars. This high cost can be a major barrier for both creators and new collectors. It makes low-priced NFTs or large editions economically unviable. This is why a number of alternative blockchains, often called Layer 2s or sidechains, have gained immense popularity. They aim to offer a similar experience to Ethereum, but with much lower fees and faster transaction times. Polygon is one of the most prominent alternatives. It is an Ethereum sidechain, closely connected to the Ethereum ecosystem and compatible with the same tools and wallet addresses. Marketplaces like OpenSea fully support Polygon, allowing users to switch between the two networks seamlessly. The key difference is cost. A transaction that might cost $50 on Ethereum could cost less than a cent on Polygon. This makes it an ideal platform for projects with a large supply, NFT-based games with many in-game transactions, artists who want to sell their work at more accessible price points. It offers a great balance of low cost and Ethereum compatibility. Other blockchains like Solana, Binance Smart Chain also offer low-cost environments for NFTs. Each has its own dedicated community, marketplaces, and technical standards. Solana, for instance, is not EVM compatible, meaning it uses different programming languages and tools than Ethereum. When choosing your blockchain, you need to weigh the trade-offs. Do you want the prestige and liquidity of Ethereum and are willing to accept the high fees? Or do you want the accessibility and low cost of a chain like Polygon, even if it might be perceived as less premium by some collectors? The right answer depends entirely on your project's goals and your target audience. Creating an NFT is just the first step. Creating an NFT that people want to buy, and that makes you ETH, is a different challenge altogether. It requires a blend of art, marketing, and economic strategy. One of the most critical factors is managing gas fees. For any project on Ethereum, gas fees are a major cost. Use a gas tracker website like Etherscan's gas tracker to monitor network activity. Fees are often lowest late at night in the US or on weekends. Timing your mint or your contract deployment for these off-peak hours can save you hundreds of dollars. For collectors, providing a low gas or gas-optimized contract can be a major selling point. Hype is the currency of the NFT space. You cannot just quietly list your project and expect it to sell out. You need to build a community and generate excitement before your launch. Twitter, Discord, start sharing sneak peeks of your art weeks in advance. Engage with potential collectors, answer their questions, and build a narrative around your project. A common and effective strategy is to create an allow list, formerly known as a whitelist. This is a pre-approved list of wallet addresses that get early or guaranteed access to mint your NFT, often at a lower price. This rewards your earliest supporters and creates a sense of exclusivity that can drive demand. The mechanics of your smart contract can also play a huge role in profitability, especially if you are on the developer path. Royalties are your key to long-term passive income. A standard royalty is between 5% and 10%. This ensures that you continue to earn from your work as it gets traded on the secondary market. Make sure your contract correctly implements the EIP 2981 royalty standard so that it is automatically honored by major marketplaces. Also, verifying your contract on Etherscan is a simple but vital step. It makes your code public and transparent, which builds trust with savvy collectors who want to know what they are buying. Finally, think carefully about your supply and pricing strategy. A limited supply creates scarcity, which can drive up value. A collection of 10,000 has become a standard, but unique one-of-one pieces can also command very high prices. Your pricing should reflect the quality of your art, the size of your community, and the utility or value you are offering. Don't just pick a number out of thin air. Research comparable projects and understand what the market is willing to pay. A well-planned launch that combines great art, Strong community building and smart economic incentives is the formula for a successful and profitable NFT project. So, after exploring both the no-code expressway and the developer's deep dive, which path is more likely to make you more ETH? The honest answer is, it depends entirely on who you are and what you're trying to build. There is no single better path for profitability. The most profitable path is the one that best aligns with your skills, resources, goals. It's about choosing the right tool for the right job. For a solo artist, the most profitable path is almost certainly the no-code route. It's a waste of time and money for an artist to learn Solidity just to mint a few pieces. The no-code path lets you focus on what you do best, creating. By using a platform like OpenSea on a low-cost chain like Polygon, you can list your art with minimal upfront cost. Your profitability will then depend on the quality of your art, your ability to market yourself on social media, your engagement with the community. Anna, our example artist who sold 2 pieces in a week, made a profit because she chose the path of least resistance. For the individual creator, speed and access are paramount. That's what no-code delivers, the highest leverage use of your time. On the other hand, for a team, a brand, an ambitious project with a complex vision, the custom smart contract path can unlock much greater upside. Custom capabilities, create a custom minting website, build a unique community-driven mechanic, launch a collection of 10,000 generative NFTs with specific rules. These projects can generate millions in their initial mint phase. The massive ETH comes from scale and unique features only possible with a custom contract. The investment in a developer and a security audit is justified by potential returns. Ultimately, the choice is not mutually exclusive. Start with no-code as your training ground. Mint a few pieces, learn how marketplaces work, engage with collectors, understand the culture, see if your work resonates with an audience. If success and ambition grow, reinvest and graduate to the developer path for a bigger project. The key is to start. Pick the path that gets your first NFT out there, whether via a simple form on OpenSea or a complex contract deployed via Hardhat. The journey begins with that first mint.